Okay, we are live for the Real Wellness Podcast. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy middle of the week. I am so excited to have my guest today, Lee Wright, and I'm going to share a little bit more about him in a minute. But if you're not familiar with the Real Wellness Podcast, it's a space for real conversations with inspiring people. And wait till you hear Lee's story, who are living with authenticity, purpose, resilience, and intention, even through life's challenges, because that's what I represent. I believe it's not about perfection. It's about building a strong foundation for your health, your energy, and your life. And today's going to be a little different when you hear Lee's story. Many of you know today is my son, in memory of my son's 25th birthday. And when I read Lee's description and what he's overcome and the darkness as he has rose out of, I just felt like he was the right guest for today. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a little introduction about Lee, and then we're going to jump into some really cool questions. Okay. Lee is Kentucky-based fantasy author, content creator, and host of the Soldiers of Truth YouTube channel. After overcoming a long battle of addiction, Lee turned his life around and began chasing a dream he once thought was impossible. He is the author of the epic fantasy series, The Grand Mystic Saga, with book 2 releasing June 15th, just next week. And he's co-author of a new comic book series. Through his writing, content, and storytelling, Lee now inspires others to believe healing, redemption, and new beginnings are always possible, no matter how dark the chapter may seem. So welcome, Lee, to the Real Wellness Live podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So Lee, I in one of the podcast groups, I just reached out and I said, I want to connect with authentic people that have been through a lot of challenges in life. And Lee wrote back and filled out the form and application. And I was really blown away by his story. So Lee, before we get into the heaviness and what you've been through, share something right now that just brings you so much joy in life.
The things that I'm doing in life right now brings me joy. My family, number one, my mama and my sister. My sister's also my co-author and co-partner with forming the Grand Mystics universe, which we have formed. So I'll get into more of that here in a little bit. But what really makes me happy is just doing the things that I love for a living and actually being able to do that every day. You know what I mean? And number one though is my sobriety. Been clean since July of last year, and one day at a time. You know, it's been rough. At first it was rough, but now that all these blessings are starting to fall upon me, you know, I would never go back to that life again. I'm just so much happier and such a better way to live. That was no way to live, you know, especially when you hit rock bottom.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Lee. And I think that's what inspired me about your story because I know so many people are suffering right now with addiction in general, and drug use and alcohol abuse. And, you know, all of us can be that close to it when we go through some dark times in life. So if you don't mind sharing with our audience, maybe a little bit about your story with addiction. And you said you were in and out of jail many times. If you don't mind sharing a little bit more about that, what that looked like for you.
So when I was 15, I started out smoking weed in high school and stuff with my friends and partying and trying pretty much anything that came in front of me, you know. But I started doing methamphetamine, and that's when my life went downhill. Started getting locked up over and over again. I've had several felonies over the years, all for possession of drugs. Uh, you know, and it's just ruined my life. And so I went to jail. I got clean for 2 years. And then I actually studied to become a peer support specialist and was going to like go into recovery and help other addicts and stuff. And I relapsed after I did all that and went right back to jail. And that was really my wake up call for me when I, you know, that relapse. And it was the same thing on, you know, again. And so when I got out of jail, I just decided I was done and got help and got clean. I've been clean ever since. And since then, it's everything that I've done is just taken off.
Do you think during that period of time, because it sounds like it's over many years and it started as something for many people that we think is innocent, right? Like weed smoking or just recreational use of drugs, but it can continue into way more and create more issues. It's kind of like a snowball effect. Was there a time in your life where, I mean, you said you relapsed a few times, which I appreciate you sharing because I think so many of us, we fail, we fall, and that's life, but we can still continue to get back up. What would you say your breaking point was almost a year ago where you decided, I'm done, I'm going to get my life together?
Okay. So the day I hit rock bottom was uh so I got in some trouble, of course, over drugs, went to jail, and then I got out on bond. So when they indicted me on that bond, which was a felony, they put a warrant out for my arrest. Well, instead of turning myself in, I went on the run. Like, same old cycle. You know what I mean? It was just all about the drugs. Went on the run. But then I realized, after I'm on the run, then I can't stay with my family. I can't stay with my friends. I can't stay with nobody because if I do, I get caught. They get caught up with me and go to jail with me, and I can't. So I end up homeless on the streets and got hooked on spice. That drug is evil. That drug is evil. And the feeling of having nobody, absolutely nobody to turn to, don't know if you're going to be able to eat. And I was in downtown Louisville, so your life is constantly in danger. Uh, for about 6 months, I did that, and that was rock bottom. Went back to jail, and I said, you know what, I am done. That was the point where I realized I had to do something different with my life.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think so many people again can relate to number one, addiction, and number two, feeling like you hit rock bottom and then there's only one way to go, right? And that's up. So
Right, yeah.
yeah, so day by day, I know Lee, you said like I take it day by day, and that's all you can do when you're, recovering. And so you said you turned to writing, that you've been a writer for a long time. And I guess for me, I think of like that as part of wellness. That was your outlet to express yourself and to deal with your emotions. So do you want to share a little bit more about your writing experience?
Sure. So started writing my first. So let me tell you how the Grand Mystic Saga came about. This is a
Okay.
pretty. So when I was 15 years old, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if you know the game or not, but
I've never played, but I mean, I'm familiar with it.
okay. So I am a Dungeons and Dragons nerd, 100%. Like, and I'm a dungeon master, so a 10-time dungeon master. So I've had 10 campaigns over the years. All right. So here's the genius of everything. As we play our games, I write down notes and keep track of everything. Me and the same group of people played for 20 years.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so I was the dungeon master, so I run the game. I created my own storyline, created my own bad guy, and like I play the bad guys and then they play the good guys and we roll dice against each other. That's kind of how it's played.
Okay.
So our storyline developed for 25 years. And I was like, one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to take our storyline and write a book about it. And so that's how it turned into the Grand Mystic Saga. I started writing one book and it turned into 5, and now it's turned into 10 books total. When
Wow.
it's 10 books. And some of them are novellas. Like the Dragon's Codex is only like, I think it's like 80 pages long. But you can get it cheap, and it's just kind of like a little side spin off to the whole thing. So.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really excited about the comic books. I mean, it's comic books, it's podcasts, it's YouTube. Soldiers of Truth is on its way to get monetized. I'm so close. I am monetized on TikTok. Uh, Putting in the work is
Yeah.
what's here.
So Lee, when you first of all, congratulations on all your success. And that's in less than a year. For anyone that's watching and you think that your life can totally change in a year. I mean, and it seems like so long, but it's not. I mean, how fast has a year gone for you? And it seems like that by you pouring into your story writing and just building your brand really is what it is, that I would assume that helps you because there's got to be times where you feel like you want to reach for something and you can't.
Yeah.
So share a little bit more about that.
So the worst thing in the world is running into your old friends. And I'm back home or back in my hometown, you know what I mean? So that's really that's why I relapsed the last time was I run into somebody from before and there's like, hey, you want to come hang out? And then boom, you know what I mean? So I really just had to separate myself from that life completely and surround
Mhm.
myself with people. And all the new people that I've surrounded myself with are some of the best people in the world, the people that want me to be a success in life instead of just keep doing the same thing over and over again. But you don't even have to be a writer or successful to live a good life, and that life was awful. It was just a cycle of sickness and addiction and chasing the drug, and if you don't have it, you're sick, and then and when I finally got over that sickness, it all went away eventually. And now I don't even have no desires. And a good sponsor, a good support group, and something to occupy your time, like you said, which I
Yeah.
fall 100% into my writing and stuff, my books and stuff. So,
Yeah, Lee, you just made some really good points. Like bringing it back to wellness is number one. We are who we surround ourselves with. And I tell my kids that, like, your top five people, the people in your circle, if you look at that, that's who you're going to be. And so, very important to surround yourself with a community that lifts you. You also mentioned having support. And that is so key in life. And this is something I preach is that we shouldn't be doing life alone. We all need a community. We need someone to lift us up, to guide us, to cheer us on, to be the light in our world. So you touched on some really good points that are a big part of our overall wellness. What else do you do, Lee, that keeps you said you write a lot. Is there anything else you do on a daily basis to keep you from going backwards?
um, yeah, my computer. I'm on my computer all day long, and it's especially now that we do our illustrations ourselves for the comics. So drawing or creating the comic books layout is and uh, just constantly having somebody around that cares, number one, and constantly doing something else besides because if you're not busy, then you got time to think about things, you know what I mean? But if you keep yourself busy, then I really don't have time to think about anything else right now.
Yeah. I think that's a great point for anyone that's going through a challenging time in life is to find something that brings joy and that you can do that just takes your mind away from the distractions and from the things that you know are going to be negative for you in your life. And so for me, it's like I don't like to do too much scrolling on social media because it sucks my time. I love to be outside walking and moving. In fact, I'm doing a fundraiser yesterday and today in memory of my son. And because I love to walk and move, and that was therapeutic for me during my season of grief, that's something I can always do. And so for Lee, it's like I'm creating content, I'm writing, I'm doing all the things that will keep me from going down that dark path. So for
Well,
Lee, go ahead.
let me let me say this real quick. So as far as that goes, like in 2016, I got into a really bad accident. I got hit by a car while I was on a lawnmower,
Wow.
and it almost broke my neck. It was a fracture C6 vertebrae, and so recovery from that has been hard. I've been to physical therapy like 3 times, and so I'm constantly in pain. So I try to do a little something every day as far as like exercise and stuff like that goes.
Good.
But walking real far, I'm not really in. I'm not. I haven't made it
That's
that far yet.
okay.
But it's just something I'm gonna have to deal with for the rest of my life, probably. I mean, because of the accident and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's just really important that I try to do something every day besides just sitting around, doing
Yeah.
nothing.
I definitely encourage movement, Lee. That's as a health coach, I tell people that have they're sitting all day is to make sure that every hour you're getting up, moving your body, lifting some weights, because movement is key to longevity. So I know you
I,
mentioned
I,
chronic pain. That's got to be hard to deal with.
right in here, it's awful, and my
Yeah.
lower back. I just had X-rays done yesterday, and then supposed to trying to get an MRI done on it and stuff to find out exactly what I was wrong. But
Yeah.
it's I know what it is. It's just arthritis is where that injury has set up,
Hmm.
and as I've gotten older. And
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for
so
sharing that.
what
So
what
let's
can I what can I do to help my neck since
Oh,
you're
what can
healthy?
you do? Well, posture's key.
Yeah,
Strengthening the muscles around your neck would definitely help too. And any movements that don't create pain. So maybe even seeing a physical therapist once you get your x-rays back.
yeah,
Um,
I will. That's in the plan. I'll definitely be going back there again. They're waiting on the MRIs and stuff. So yeah,
yeah. And I always tell people advocate for your health. Go to the doctor if something doesn't feel right. So you're doing all the things.
yeah, it's just
Okay,
daily.
so let's talk a little bit about all the exciting things coming up. Tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel, what it's
Okay,
called, and what people can find on there.
okay. So the Soldiers of Truth on YouTube, and when you actually look for it, you can type in the Soldiers of Truth or the Soldiers of Truth, the number two at the end, and you'll see some soldiers saluting and that in a round circle, and that's my channel. And I'm not monetized on it yet, but I have hit over 10,000 views on it.
Very
So,
awesome.
and the Soldiers of Truth is history's greatest mysteries, fantasy mixed with uh, Greek mythology and Egyptian, and just anything UFOs and aliens and Bigfoot and ghosts.
Sci-fi.
Yeah, yeah, anything sci-fi, I love it, and that's what the whole channel is based around. So actually what we do on the Soldiers of Truth, we're starting a new show called the Paranormal Brigade, which is going to be really fun. Me
Okay.
and of two other people, my sister and my nephew, we're getting videos in from people on the Soldiers of Truth. So if they want to email us, they can email it to the Soldiers of Truth 24/7 at gmail.com. If you have a ghost encounter or a UFO spotting or a video of any kind of footage, or if you just want to get on there and tell your story, that's what the Soldiers of Truth is about. We invite people to contact us and we'll help them get posted and put their story out there to the world.
That's really
So,
cool.
yeah, we got a really good one coming up with the Paranormal Brigade where we have a couple of ghost videos and we're going to be actually have the people that post the video, they get to do a YouTube live with us, like as we post their video and stuff. And the brigade talks to them about, about the video and stuff
Yeah.
and whether we
Very
think it's,
fun. It sounds
yeah,
interesting. I know UFOs are like a really big thing in the media right now. So,
it's blowing up everywhere. And you know what's weird is they said four different alien races or whatever they're saying. And I did video on all four of them on the Soldiers of Truth about a year ago.
oh, that
So
is crazy.
it's weird. So like now's the perfect time for the sci-fi stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have to get that out. Okay, so Lee shared with me, if you're just joining us, Lee has overcome addiction for many years, in and out of jail, and has totally turned his life around. He is an author of many books. He has his own YouTube channel, and he is going to be doing a Barnes and Noble's tour. So Lee, share a little bit about like where people can find you, the name of your book.
Okay, so the name of the book, the name of the whole series is called The Grand Mystic Saga, and there's 5 books total when it's completed. Right now, book one is The Emerald Scepter of Light, Part One. You can get it at Barnes and Noble, Amazon, and like I said, at bookshop.org. If you use my affiliate link,
And I'll
uh,
post it.
okay, cool. If you use the affiliate link, or the promo code author Lee Wright, when you check out, you get a 20% discount on your whole order. So that's the best way to get my book is at a discount. So the cool thing about bookshop.org is there's a 20% commission earned per sale, and I get 10% of the commission to put towards my channels and stuff. And then 10% of that goes towards charities to support local independent bookstores. So yeah, so it's a win-win-win for everybody involved in if you use that link.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, Lee, if for the people watching or that will watch this, what advice would you have for them if they're in a really dark place in their life or if they're having addiction issues? You've walked this journey, this storm for many years, and you have been able to pull yourself out and really turn your life around. What would you offer to those people that are still in the midst of addiction and in a dark place? What advice could you offer?
For me, when I was in the addiction, I couldn't see nothing else but that. But now that I'm outside the addiction, it's totally different. I see life in a whole different light, and my people, my family, my friends have forgiven me for the things I did and accepted me back and tried to help me. Um, so what advice would I give is find some help, because I had to have help when I stopped. Uh, whether it's a rehab or it's just a good friend or a sponsor or AA or NA, or it's really hard to just get clean on your own, because moral support is what helps you. People telling you that they believe in you and that they love you and they want to try to help you is what motivated me. I keep it on myself, motivated me to get clean. You know what I mean? Like, and I was so sick of it. And I just told them, I said, fine, help me. And they did. So get some help. Find you a good, I have a drug counselor that I've been seeing for many years now. And she's like my best friend, you know, somebody that's there if you need to call somebody or having
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, that is amazing advice, Lee, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. When you go through storms in life, know that there's someone else that's already walked through that storm and is willing to help you, lift you, guide you through it, hold your hand, listen to you. There's always someone that's gonna to be there for you. You just have to be willing to say, I need help. And a lot of people don't want to offer because they feel shameful.
Yeah. And another thing I would say is, manifestation is so real. And what I mean by that is, if I'm putting out a negative vibe all day long, then I'm going to get negativity drawn to me. But if I put out positive vibes all day long, then positivity comes. That's what I believe. I believe that you get what you put out in life, you know. So if you're constantly, and another thing, nobody's going to quit getting high or drunk until they want to get clean.
Yes.
And that was the thing for me, was I just had to finally make up my mind I was done, you know. And when that happened, I said, okay, I need some help. And so really it's just, I mean, you know, my mom told me for years I could beg you and I could plead and do whatever, but you got to do it yourself. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah. I have some friends that have walked through this with their children, adult children, young children, and it's really hard to see someone that you love, kind of self-destruct. And when you can't do anything about it, it's devastating. But like you said, Lee, you have to be willing and ready to say, I'm done. What do I need to do to get better?
Yeah, and God is so much better. It is such a better life, clean. And I spent my whole life not sober. So now that I'm sober, I see life in a totally different, you know, I mean, it's just, I'm clear minded now. I'm clear headed. I know, you know, I'm not chasing and harming. That's the key is, you know, and life, it slowly got better and better and better. And then it just took off for me. So I believe God gave me the talent for writing. I believe that 100%. I don't know
Yeah.
what anybody's religious views is, but that's what I believe. And I believe that he blessed me when I stopped, because I
Yeah.
asked for help personally.
Amen. It's awesome. And I love your manifestation. I mean, that is you focus where your focus goes, your energy goes. And I know I've had days where I am just so negative and that's what the vibe is. But when you
Yeah,
change your
it ends
mindset,
up
it's a
being a
choice.
day. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Then it ends up being a day because you're drawing in that negativity. But
Yeah.
book two. So let me get back to this. So book two will be released on June the 15th. Is a big release day for the Grand Mystics universe.
Okay.
So it has transformed into, from one book, it has transformed into a new book in the saga coming out on June 15th. Also on June 15th will be the comic book release, which is called The Grand Mystics Heroes. And
Okay.
it's all about individual heroes of the book. Each comic book is a different hero. And the first episode of that is called The Grand Mystics Heroes, and it's Dracosa. It's all about this draconian ranger named Dracosa. I don't want to give too much away, but it's really awesome.
Okay.
And then on the same day, there will be releasing the Dragon's Codex, which is a novella, which is a short story. It's only like 80 pages long, and it's like a pre. It's what actually the Dragon's Codex is about is the remaining dragons left in the world. So there's like 4 left alive. in my story. And the queen of the draconians is writing about those dragons. So the first episode is called Venom, and that
Okay.
releases 15th as well. So we got a lot of releases on that
You
day.
have such a big day, June 15th, Lee. I'm so excited. So what I will do is we'll post all of this under the live video. Anyone can connect with Lee, purchase his books, check out his YouTube channel. Lee, any like final words you want to like say to the audience about, seeking light through the darkness?
Just don't give up hope, because there's always somebody out there that'll help you. There's always somebody.
And
I
how can
know.
people find you, Lee?
So my social media, you can find me on YouTube at The Soldiers of Truth. And then our second YouTube channel is called The Mystic Road for You. And it's all about my author's journey and like book signings and things that are coming up in the future. I'm doing a book signing in Florence, Kentucky at the Barnes and Noble on June the 13th, or I'm sorry, June the 27th. And then next weekend, I will be on my schedule. I should have had that wrote down, but
That's okay.
next week will be Lexington Barnes and Noble from 12 to 4 on Man of War. And then the 27th will be the following Florence. And then July the 11th, I'm doing the Barnes and Noble in our Joseph Beth bookseller in Lexington, Kentucky. So
Okay.
2 coming up in Lexington and 1 in Florence.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Lee,
My Facebook is author Lee Wright.
okay. Lee, it's been such an honor to have this conversation today and to learn about your journey and how you've offered hope and what you've overcome. I hope this inspires other people that are watching today. If this resonated with you, comment, contact Lee, maybe get in touch with him if you know someone struggling that maybe Lee could offer a little hope or inspiration. And I appreciate all of you watching. And until next time, keeping it real, make sure you're taking care of your body, mind, and soul. And I'm always here for you as well. So take care, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me.